Hey there, it's Tyler with Titan Media. I got another video for you today. In this video, I'm going to show you how to start an online business. So I've probably started over 25 online businesses, so I'm very familiar with this process. I've done it a bunch of times, and I know all the things to stay away from, I know all the things to look for, and in this video, I'm going to get really in depth on how to start your first online business. So the first thing you have to do is register yourself as a business. So why is this important? Why can't you just start making money online and that's that? Well, the government is going to start looking at you, and if you start making a lot online and you're not registered as a business, you can be personally liable for any liabilities or anything like that. So if someone tries to sue you or whatever, which it happens in business a lot. I've been sued a few times. People try to sue me. So it's something that you need to do. So I always register my businesses as an LLC. That was really bad. See there. Now this stands for Limited Liability Corporation. So it pretty much says it all in the name. So that means that you're not liable for any liabilities or anything like that could happen with the business. So you're all safe behind your LLC veil is what they call it. So you don't want anyone to be able to pierce the veil of the LLC and come after you personally. So let's say that you don't have an LLC and you make $1 million in your first year and someone decides to sue you. Well, it's possible that you're not going to get any of that $1 million, and that the person that sues you can easily get to that money because you're not registered as an LLC. So if you were registered as an LLC and you had paid yourself that $1 million, but the company didn't have any money in it, then they could still not sue you personally because you are held behind an LLC. So first things first, you have to get an LLC. Now it depends on what state you live in, on how to register an LLC, but it's really simple in 2017 to do it. I know with Kansas, it's as simple as logging on to their Kansas business website, and it's about $160, I believe, to register an LLC business, and it takes like a minute. I mean, it's super easy. So once you have your LLC registered, you'll have to get an EIN. And this is an employer identification number. So this is kind of like the social security number of your business. So all the tax documents that you have to fill out and anything tax related, you have to put in your EIN, and that tells the government how much money has gone through your EIN number. And they can tell, kind of like your social security number, how much the company's made and all that kind of stuff. So if you're doing if you're filling out any kind of applications as a business, if you want to open a bank account for the business, you'll need an EIN and a registered LLC as well. So once all that is squared away, you are a registered business and you are ready to start making money through that business online. So how do you get a website up? Well, the first thing that you have to do is you have to buy a domain name. Now, I could make a whole video just on domain names and what they're all about, but in this video, I'm going to keep it kind of short. I'm sure that you know what a domain name is. It's Facebook.com, Google.com. Those are domain names. So the domain name can have a large number of endings. They're called TLDs. So .com, .gov, .org, .net. I mean, there's hundreds of them now. I always like to stay with .com. It's the first one. It's the basic one, and most people will trust a business more if it's a .com name. Now, finding the right domain name it's difficult. Domain names, I like to think of them like real estate. Once you buy one, no one else can have it. So there's only one of each domain name, and in order to get one that's already purchased, it's likely you'll have to pay a lot of money. Some people's jobs are just to buy and sell domain names. They're called domain brokers, and they'll buy common domain names that people might want, and they'll sell them for high prices and make a large margin off that sale. So another important thing to remember about the domain name is having keywords in it. So you want to have the keywords of your business in your domain name. So this is for a few reasons. One is just brandability. So if you're selling blue widgets and your domain name is buy green widgets, then it's going to be a little confusing to the customer, and they're not really going to get what your site's about. So having the domain name be have some sort of keyword about your business, what you're selling, that sort of thing is important. It's also important because of SEO. So if you don't know what SEO is, it's search engine optimization. And Google and other search engines will look at a domain name and see if it has keywords in it. And if those keywords are what the person is searching for, then it's more likely that you'll show up for those keywords. So if you're selling blue widgets, then you want your domain name to be something like buybluewidgets.com or getbluewidgets.com or findgreatbluewidgets.com. You want those important keywords in your domain name, and that will help a little bit with your SEO. Now, as far as pricing with domain names, it depends on where you get it. I just buy most of my domain names from GoDaddy. You can get them Network Solutions, GoDaddy, Namecheap. There's hundreds of domain name providers where you can buy a domain online. So the normal price for domain names, it depends, but usually it's about $10 a year. So if you're buying your domain names from GoDaddy or probably any other domain host, you can actually Google coupons for those domain names, and you can usually get them for around $8 to $10 with those coupons. So once you find that domain name that you really like, you can buy it, and you'll be paying this price per year, which is not too bad to start a business. So far with the registered LLC and the domain name, so it's $160 and $10. So we've spent $170 so far just to start a business. Now that's pretty cheap and a pretty awesome thing. So once you have this, the next thing is hosting. So you will need somewhere to host your website and your domain name. And there's hundreds of places online that you can get hosting. It really depends on what you're trying to do. If you are starting a blog or a personal site to sell stuff, or maybe even you're selling services, then you can probably get normal hosting that can host a WordPress site or a WooCommerce site, stuff like that. But if you're wanting to sell e-commerce stuff, if you're wanting to sell items online, you might not particularly need hosting specifically. Sites like Shopify, Evolution, and BigCommerce. There's a few of them out there where it's specifically for selling e-commerce products, and they will already have the hosting for you. So pretty much you're paying monthly to have a hosted e-commerce solution where all you have to do is import your products and install a theme or a template, and you kind of got a working online store already. So it really depends on which way you want to go. But you want to make sure that if you are starting an e-commerce store, even with normal hosting, if you're starting a WooCommerce store or something like that, you'll be accepting payments online. You will need to get a payment processor as well. Now, this is a company that will process any of your credit card payments for you. And there's a ton of them out there. There's Stripe, there's Authorize.net, there's plenty of ways, plenty of places that you can sign up to be able to accept credit cards online. So if you're doing Shopify or Evolution or any of the type of those sites, a lot of them already come with a payment processor, and they have their own set fees. I think they're around 2 to 3% transaction fees, plus maybe 20 cents per transaction fee, and that's kind of a normal cost as far as payment processing goes. If you get Authorize.net or any of those third-party payment processors that aren't exactly connected to these, you could get a better price. but it's really about shopping around and finding the best price as far as payment processors go. So once you have hosting set up and your domain name, then you're ready to develop your website. Now this might seem like the hardest part to some people, but it really is not as difficult as it may seem. Now if you are selling e-commerce products or selling anything like that, then you might not particularly need to develop a website. If you use Shopify or Volusion, they have a ton of themes that you can use, a ton of templates to customize, and you upload your logo, you can change your colors, import all your products and prices, and you're pretty much ready to go. Now if you're selling services or you want to blog or anything like that, then you'll need to develop a website, and there's plenty of free options. There's WordPress, which is a really powerful content management system, and that's a great way to start. If you're just starting out, you don't need to spend $20,000-$30,000 on a custom site. It's always smarter to start cheap and just do something that works and that you can get up as fast as possible. Now, in my opinion, WordPress is the best way to do that. You can get a WordPress website up in minutes, and it's free to download, it's free to use, it's open source software, and there's a ton of plugins and themes that you can use to customize. Now, as far as custom websites, if you're looking to start like a software as a service business or some sort of custom site like that, then you're probably going to shell out a little bit of money to get that started. And that can be a whole nother video on those custom developed websites. But if this is your first time starting a business online, I would suggest staying away from trying to start something complicated or SaaS. It's a whole process of development, life cycles, and I would try and stay away from that for your first site. I would either try and go for the Shopify Volusion thing and sell products online, or just start a WordPress site to get the word out about your services, and you kind of build it up from there. And so once you have your website set up, now it's the fun time. It's time to start marketing, getting traffic to your website. So this could be a whole nother video too, and I'll probably make my next video about some great ways to get traffic to your newly developed website. I'm going to go over just a few methods that you can use to start gaining some traffic. There's some expensive ones and there's some cheaper ones. But the first way is to drive traffic with paid ads. So there's plenty of places where you can get great traffic for a good amount of money. One is Facebook. So I spend 80 to 90%, I'll say 80% of my paid ads on Facebook. It's just such a powerful platform. You can target people by how much they make, what their interests are, all sorts of stuff that's really kind of creepy, but it's a great way to find your ideal target customer and really drive a targeted traffic to your website. So another one is AdWords. So as you probably know, this is Google's advertising system, and it's a little different than Facebook because it's not interest-based per se, it's search-based. So when you search for blue widgets in Google, you can set it so that your website shows up first before any of the other listings for blue widgets. Now it might cost you a little bit of money. The way that AdWords works is it's a bidding system, so you're bidding for that top spot. So if someone's bidding $1, you have to bid that the highest bid's $1. You'll have to bid $1.01 to reach that first spot. Now that's cheap as far as AdWords goes. You're probably looking at more about $5 to $10 for that first spot, depending on what your keyword is and what your services are. So the last thing, and probably the easiest way to start, is social. So as you probably know, a lot of people are on social networks. I think there's about almost 3 billion now on Facebook. So really getting a strong social following and finding people that may be interested in your website or service or products and friending them, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it may be. You should create pages for your company for on all those social sites and start friending people and start a community and build that up to where you have enough people to where you can send some good traffic to your website and make some good sales on that from those targeted people. And it's also a great way to get feedback on your product and get some great reviews and see really what people are thinking in the community and the social community. So this is pretty much how you start an online business. I know that I talked a while on this video, but really you could start a business in the time it took me to explain to you all this. It's super quick, yeah, if you have any questions, please comment below. And if you want to learn more about running a business online and growing a business online, be sure to follow me. Thanks.